Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears to some of the travails and trepidations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And this is a disturbing case that just took place out in LA. That was very unfortunate, and many people are going through very depressing, stressful, and anxiety-ridden times. So here we go. Children were thrown from a moving car in LA in a double murder-suicide, police say. Investigators say the deaths of an infant and two adults at three separate locations in Metro Los Angeles on Monday were the result of a family dispute that turned into a double murder-suicide. The bizarre and gruesome sequence of events began inside a unit at the upscale Montecito Apartments on Vario Avenue in Woodland Hills at about 3:30 a.m. when, according to police, neighbors heard an argument involving a man and a woman. Later that morning, one neighbor said she stepped out of her apartment and saw blood everywhere. The door was wide open. There was blood on the floor leading into their apartment, and then a trail of it in the hallway leading up to the elevator. And I saw some blood on the wall, the neighbor said, who did not want her name released, told KTLA Mary Beth McDade. So I just freaked out and called my dad immediately to come and check it out. The neighbor's father arrived, and after calling 911, found Jalen Chaney, 29, dead inside the apartment from multiple stab wounds, police said. They told me when I spoke to the EMT to go in and check on the body. So I did, her father said. He was deceased. He was face down on the floor. Another neighbor, Richard Berglund, also discovered the gruesome scene. Their front door was wide open, like propped open, Berglund said. It was in disarray. Then I saw a pair of legs sticking out from the kitchen area. There was knocked over furniture and blood. According to investigators, Chaney and Danielle Johnson, 34, lived in the apartment with Johnson's two children, aged 8 months and 9 years old, and were involved in a verbal altercation that led to the fatal stabbing. Johnson crashed her SUV through a parking garage security gate at the apartment complex, news video showed. At about 4:30 a.m., still hours before Chaney's body was discovered, the California Highway Patrol responded to the northbound 405 freeway in Culver City, where they found the infant girl dead on the roadway and the 9-year-old girl suffering from minor injuries. The dark-colored SUV was observed driving on the 405 freeway when the two children were expelled from the vehicle while it was moving, police said. Then at 5 a.m., investigators said Johnson died when her SUV slammed into a tree on Pacific Coast Highway in Vincent Street in Redondo Beach, going more than 100 miles an hour. No other vehicles were involved, and police believe the crash was deliberate. After a thorough investigation in collaboration with other agencies, homicide detectives determined that the incidents were all related and there was no further threat to the community. The infant's name was not immediately released. Chaney was an Air Force mechanic, and his brother told KTLA that he aspired to be a meteorologist before he was killed. Although he said he wasn't privy to the details of Chaney's relationship with Johnson, he said Chaney loved his daughters and was a great father. So this young lady gets into it with her boyfriend, husband, whatever he was. She stabs him to death at the apartment, takes the two kids, takes off, and while she's driving on the freeway, somehow She was able to push and expel the kids out of her SUV on the freeway, and of course, the infant died probably instantly, and the 9-year-old sounds like she may survive. This is a very sad, sad story. And I talk about this all the time in my videos when it's family dynamics that are playing out like this. Not only are we seeing tons of erratic, chaotic disruption in our cities and our communities, but there is a lot going on within many of these homes. People are depressed, have high anxiety, and mental illness is real. Evidently, this young lady was suffering to be able to do that to her boyfriend and her 2 children, and then ended up crashing her SUV going over 100 miles an hour and killing herself in a murder suicide is just atrocious. We have to check on folks, family members, friends, neighbors, check in each and every day. In this lexicon in America, it seems like our humanity is dissipating every second of every hour. People are not being able to rationalize the difference between life and death, and people are not having the fortitude to want to continue to live. There has been a heavy burden placed on our middle class, if it even still exists. We're seeing a great separation between the haves and have-nots. There are tons, I'm seeing lots of people who are in marriages or together, and instead of just getting a divorce, one of the spouses, boyfriend or girlfriend, is deciding to take the other one's life for insurance purposes, or they don't think that they can find a way out, or don't want to have custody issues with the kids, and they're choosing death over life. All of the stressful, life is a marathon, it's not a sprint, and all of us have been in the belly of the beast, and things do get tough. But the other thing we have to remember is there is sunshine and sunlight on the other side. You just have to work your way through it. And all of us have been in the belly of the beast before. That's all part of the life cycle. It's all about the journey and not the destination. And I think people get caught up and their eyes become glossy and blurry when we are going through difficult times and we start making irrational decisions. And this decision that this young lady made will affect both his family and her family forever. And you don't want your lasting legacy to be murder-suicide and harming your babies. But I'm seeing a lot of this all throughout our country. As I said, there's a heavy, stressful burden that's been placed on our middle class. When in election time, things are tough, job loss. You don't stay at one job forever anymore. The cost of living continues to go up. We're looking at inflation. The cost of goods, consumer goods are going up, milk, eggs, while you're not being paid enough. We have to take each and every day, one day at a time. And if you are stressed out and you are suffering mentally or physically, seek help. It's amazing. People will go seek help when they have physical ailments, but they won't do it when they have mental ailments or depression. Something like 20% of America has some form of mental illness, whether diagnosed or undiagnosed. It's about 360 million people in America. That's like 72 million people. And people need to seek out help through our social services and our medical paradigm. And the end conclusion when you're having tough times should not be deciding on death. The decision should be about deciding on life and providing hope, HOPE, help one person every day. This is a very unfortunate circumstance. The 9-year-old is going to need all the help if she survives that she can, mental therapy, family support, and this is a very sad story. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience.